So I know it is 12, but I think we'll just give like a minute or two for some other people to join. While we're waiting for that, I'll just, we will introduce ourselves afterwards as well, but I just want to introduce myself first. My name is Erin Pedro, and I am a coordinator with the Student Graduate and Co-op Employment Center at Okanagan College. So basically, in a nutshell, what we do is we help students, graduates and co-op students of OC get jobs. So I have with me my partner, Catherine, who's also a coordinator. So we'll kind of be going through everything today. But if there are any questions that you have as we go through the presentation, please feel free to like unmute yourself and ask them or type them in the chat. We will have questions at the end, but we do encourage, like, if there's some things that pop up as we go, don't feel like you're interrupting us. Definitely, we want to have a conversation, so feel free to ask them whenever they come to mind. But we'll just wait a minute or two more. Just so everyone knows as well, this session will be recorded. So feel free to keep your video and your mic off if you don't want to be recorded. The chat is not recorded at any point, so feel free to put that information in, like any questions or anything you have in there, and that will not be shared out there. So it'll just be mine and Catherine's face that will be recorded here. So don't worry about that. But it is 12:02, so I think we might as well get started. If we have some people that join us later on, that's okay as well. So first and foremost, I just want to respectfully acknowledge that Okanagan College's Penticton, Kelowna, and Vernon campuses are located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people, and the Salmon Arm campus is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Secwepemc people. So I always think it's really important to acknowledge that. The Syilx Okanagan people have walked gently on the unceded territories where I know I'm grateful to live, work, and play, and we're committed to building on relationships with the First Peoples based in honor and respect, and we thank them for their hospitality. So just want to do that first and foremost.
Sorry, having a technical issue to get to the next slide. Here we go.
I might as well mention as well, since I am working from home, I'm working from the Syilx Okanagan territory myself as well. But why you're here today is to kind of help understand how we can help you get from college to career. So how we can help you really use the skills that you learned while you're in school to help get you a job later on, and how we can help you through that journey as well. So today we'll kind of go through who we are and what we do. We'll have an introduction to co-op, some employers that we work with. We'll talk about on-campus and student employment and extracurriculars. And then we'll also talk about how to prep for success going forward. As I said earlier, we will have a question period at the end, but if there is any questions that come up as we go along, please feel free to use the chat and ask away. We're happy to kind of take your questions as they come. We want this to be a conversation, and so feel free to kind of ask them as we go.
So for contact and connect, the best way to reach us is at coop@okanagan.bc.ca. Our office puts on a lot of employer events, a lot of student-centered events, and we encourage you to check out our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn if you're on that. And then further to that, our website page, so www.okanagan.bc.ca/co-op. It contains a lot of resources for not only just students or co-op students, but for the general public too, if you are interested in learning more. So those are some great resources you can check out. From there, there's also a link where you could book appointments with any of the coordinators throughout our team. There's more than just Erin and I. We have a very robust team at this point, and you can book direct appointments to ask questions as well. So what we do, so first and foremost, the Co-op Student Graduate and Co-op Employment Center is a resource hub for students and alumni. We offer free career prep services to all students. We also focus on co-op students. So we have exclusive job boards for co-op students. We have a link through our center for on-campus employment and also for graduates. Further to that, we have volunteer opportunities listed within the community where you can look through some of the volunteer jobs and see if anything fits for you. And we also are responsible for work integrated learning, which is what WIL stands for. Another huge component of our center and our positions are building and retaining relationships with employers in the community, employers provincially, and even nationwide. So how we can help is we can help you to develop an effective job search strategy. If maybe it's your first job while you're going to college, we are more than happy to help you outline some of the steps that you need to take and help you to define some of your goals. We can help you to create a standout cover letter and resume package, get your references in order, all those types of services. We also offer a lot of networking opportunities, events, and tools. And we offer you practice for your interviews. So we will draft up questions and sit down with you for an hour and practice a virtual interview. And we can also supply you with resources if you wanted to meet with employers to do what's called an information interview.
So as Catherine kind of alluded to, we help with both co-op and work integrated learning. And so we wanted to kind of discuss what those things are, because depending on what you're studying at the college, you could actually run into one or a few of these different things for opportunities to kind of put that school work to work. So what an apprenticeship is, it's an agreement between a person, an apprentice, who wants to learn a skill, and an employer who needs a skilled worker and who is willing to sponsor the apprentice and provide paid, relative, practical experience and the direction of a certified journey person in a work environment. So basically, an apprentice, you're able to actually start learning the tasks, activities, and functions of a skilled worker. And about 80% of an apprenticeship is at the workplace experience, with about 20% classroom training. So you'll see apprenticeship is most common in trades, and depending on the trade, they take about 2 to 5 years to complete. And both the workplace experience and technical training are essential components of the learning experience. So usually you'll kind of get the learning experience at the college, and then you'll get that hands-on experience as an apprentice. We also have some students who work really hard on entrepreneurship. So what this does is this allows a student to leverage resources, space, mentorship, and or funding to engage in the early stage development of business startups, or to advance external ideas that address real world needs for academic credits. So you can actually kind of start your own business idea and even earn academic or co-op credit. So it's a pretty cool opportunity. So usually you'll see that in business, but you'll see that in a lot of different subjects as well. Then you'll also see applied research projects. So students are engaged in research that occurs primarily in workplaces and includes like consulting projects, design projects, community-based research projects. So you'll see these sometimes in health, sometimes in business, sometimes even in computer information systems. So there's lots of different opportunities for those as well. Then you'll also see that there's mandatory professional practicum or clinical placements, and these involve work experience under the supervision of an experienced, licensed, or registered professional in any discipline that requires practice-based work experience for like a professional license. So usually practicums are unpaid as the work is done in supervised settings, and students don't usually have their own workload. So you'll see practicums most common in our health programs, and those will be when you get a week or two, sometimes longer, of that hands-on experience doing something that's relevant to your program. Then lastly, you'll also see work experience. And what work experience is basically, usually it's a full-time opportunity that basically intersects the academic program as well as work. So it's not a formal experience through us. Usually how we coordinate this is through our job boards, but co-op is usually when it's very specific to your program. So we will talk about co-op in more depth there. And I see that there's a lot of new people that have joined us. So if there are any questions that you guys have about any of those things, I said it earlier, but please feel free to ask questions at any time, whether you want to unmute yourself or type them in the chat. We're happy to answer them as we go. But I will also mention that this session is being recorded as well for those that just joined us. So if you'd prefer for yourself to not be recorded, please use the chat because that is not recorded.
So now we're going to talk a little bit. Oh, sorry. Does somebody have a question? Nope. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about what is co-op, because many people are unfamiliar with that terminology, and so we'd like to just break that down a little bit. So co-op is optional or mandatory, depending on the program, way to apply your education in an industry-related work environment. So you get to go into a place of business and apply the theory and skills that you've learned in class in a real-world working environment. Co-op is a formal process to help connect employers to students. So often employers will advertise co-op positions with our office. It is employer-paid work terms, so they are remunerated. They are 12 to 16 weeks in duration, full-time work. For mandatory co-op, it's about 10 weeks. Some students choose to complete 1, 2, or 3 consecutive work terms. It just depends on what program you're in and what that allows for. So up until this point, the co-op office has placed over 7,000 co-op students. Well, I shouldn't say place because we don't place you. It is a competitive process, but we have enlisted 7,000 co-op work opportunities, and students have engaged in those work opportunities both regionally, in the province, and nationally. So why co-op? So a little bit further, you get the chance to apply and advance your skills in a workplace setting, which is very invaluable to that applied learning that a lot of us learn best by doing. So that's kind of what this opportunity gives you. You can maximize your employment opportunities while you're still learning. You can narrow down career directions in your field. Often there are many different tracks or veins of career that you can get into from taking a program. You get to network and engage with employers. You can ask them how they started out, how their careers kind of elevated. You get to acquire relevant work experience, which is always a plus if you're planning to go to a graduate school or bridging into a larger program. And you get to earn a salary to help finance your education. And these opportunities are often remunerated at a much higher rate than minimum wage.
So one thing I also want to mention as well is when you complete at least 2 co-op work terms throughout your degree, you actually do get a co-op designation on your diploma or your degree as well. And all mandatory co-op programs get that as well. And that is something that employers like to see. So that's one thing also that's a really nice benefit of co-op. Here are all the different programs at Okanagan College that we offer co-op for. So you'll see culinary arts, management and pastry arts, tourism management, those all have mandatory co-op programs. And then we have our computer information systems, both the bachelor and the diploma. We have our Bachelor of Business Administration, all of the engineering technologies, so water engineering technology, mechanical engineering technology, electronic, telecommunications, engineering technology, so all of those ones. Also sustainable construction management technology, animation, and our business diploma. And then new that's just coming out is we will also have our kinesiology. And depending on what program you're in, there are different requirements. So we do have a GPA requirement, and basically after you've completed one full-time semester at Okanagan College, that's when we can consider your GPA and accept you into the program. If you don't want to do co-op until later on, or sometimes people don't apply until a few semesters, we just look at your cumulative GPA up until that point.
So just wanted to mention a few of the student supports. So as you are taken into the co-op program, you would have an exclusive one-to-one intake discussion around some of your goals, where you would like to work, maybe some of the employers that you covet and would like to engage with, what some of your needs are. We offer employer networking events, so we try and offer as many opportunities as we can to have students and employers come together. We offer one-on-one coaching, resume and cover letter reviews, and education and resources in support of development of those documents. We offer mock interviews, and once you're engaged in a co-op opportunity, we do monitoring visit check-ins. So we will come to your place of work and do a check-in with you and your employer. Right now that is virtually, but we are still totally there for students, and it's been really neat to connect online. And we also are help to facilitate employer feedback. So you get that gift of feedback from your employer in a formatted way so that it's yours to keep and you can use it for future references and to develop out your resume going forward.
So I did just see a question in the chat there that asked, is there a co-op for psychology related studies? And so I did just type back and say, at this point, we do not offer co-op for any of the arts programs. But one thing I do want to mention is that for all students and all alumni of Okanagan College, no matter if you're in a co-op program or not, we are here to support you with your job search needs. So we can still give you free resume reviews, free cover letter reviews. We can do mock interviews with you. We can also help you create a job search strategy. And we also do have a job board that is there for if you're looking for part-time work or even work over the summer break, or if you're looking for graduate jobs as well. So although we don't offer co-op, we definitely are still here to assist you with looking for jobs in your related field. So that kind of goes really nicely into here. So I just wanted to, this is definitely not an extensive list, but I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the employer partners that we have worked with in the past. And this is for co-op, graduate positions, summer positions, and even just part-time work as well. So you'll see some pretty cool names on there like RBC, Parks Canada. We had a student work in Lake Louise this past semester. The Regional District of Central Okanagan. We also work with companies kind of outside of Kelowna. So we have City of Penticton, the CRA is a big one of our partners, Polco as well. So Fortis BC, we have a lot of our CIS students work there. So even Interior Health is a really great partner of ours as well. So this is definitely just a small drop in the bucket. There's lots of different employers that we work with, but I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the opportunities that you'll see on our job board. And I just wanted to note as well, there is a specific job board for co-op students, but and only co-op students can see that job board, but we have a graduate job board as well as kind of like our part-time job boards and things like that anyone can view. So in addition to that, there also, each semester, there sometimes is on-campus employment opportunities. And these are part-time positions on campus, specifically offered to OC students. So there's a variety of different positions that you can apply for. It could be a research assistant, learning center assistants, peer mentor is a pretty cool job, recreational facility assistant, computer lab monitors. Those are just some of the opportunities that we've seen in the past. But this is a really great opportunity to kind of be able to work part-time, get to know a little bit more of your peers by being on campus. And so we do have an on-campus job board as well. So one big thing I always like to touch on as well is extracurricular opportunities. because honestly, it's one of the most important things, in my opinion, while you're in college, because it just gives you a way to grow your network, also connect with other students. It gives you opportunities to kind of learn more of where your passion lies. And plus, it's a huge resume builder. So when I talk to employers and we ask them questions like, how can students make themselves stand out? They'll say, get involved with clubs, volunteer your time. So we have some pretty cool clubs available on campus. So Enactus, Okanagan College, that's a really cool opportunity. Basically what they are is they work on different projects that can help the community. So you probably saw some news articles on the most recent, I think they're called Fruit Snaps, which they've been very successful with that. You could also get involved with the OC Coyotes if you love sports. Outside of specifically Okanagan College, there's also lots of different ways that you can involve and kind of give your time and build that resume while giving back to the community. So there's lots of different, like Pause It Forward, that's one close to my heart. I fostered and ended up adopting a dog from there. You can also look on dosomegood.ca. There's lots of opportunities there. One cool place as well is if you are looking to study business, I highly recommend becoming involved with the Okanagan Business Students Association. Really great opportunity to meet people, but also kind of say you're a marketing student, you can become the marketer for them and actually gain some relevant skills without having to be hired into a position for that. So one thing I really want to touch on, because I know when I was in post-secondary, I was involved in what we called JDC, and it was kind of a extracurricular as well, and it was kind of one of the best memories, and it was one of the best things that I had on my resume as well. So just want to touch on that.
I just wanted to throw out there that we are having a virtual open question session. This is geared towards those who would like to participate in co-op, but it's open to anybody, the public or students. Erin's going to pop in a link to Eventbrite. You just need to register and you will be given a link if you want to, if you have any further follow-up questions for us that we are not able to answer in the rest of the time that we have together today. It's a great way to sort of drop in and be able to come ask your questions. No question is too big or too small. You can ask in a group discussion, or we will have private breakout rooms where you can speak to a coordinator one-on-one, whatever your preference is. So again, register on Eventbrite and hope to see you there if you have follow-up questions. Right now, we'd like to open the floor if anyone wants to turn on their mic or throw another chat question into the chat box there. We would like to use some time to answer questions that may be lingering. And that's okay if there aren't any too. We can certainly email us at coop@okanagan.bc.ca. And if you want to do some more research on your own before asking those questions, just check out our website or our social media pages.
As well too, like if you have a question specific to like your program, like I'm in the water engineering technology program, what type of opportunities are there for me, or where are they located, or where have past students worked, or things like that. We're happy to answer more specific questions if you have any of those. But yeah, if not, we aren't offended either way. We'll take this time. You guys can think about that and write them in the chat or unmute your mic at any time. But we do want to thank you guys for coming and listening to us. We hope that you got some valuable stuff and that you'll come see us when you become a student at OC, because what we love to do is help students, and there's nothing more rewarding than to help you get your dream job. So please take advantage of the service that we offer. It's free to all students as well as alumni. So even after you have graduated, you can come back and ask us for help. So we recommend, after this, kind of the next steps would be go and explore different programs that we offer. If you already have an idea, but you just have some questions, there's the ask link there. And then if you feel like you're ready, this is the last push, then you can go ahead and actually apply to your program. Yeah, you're very welcome. We hope to see you at OC. And then I think the next slide just has, yeah, if you guys didn't know or if you haven't applied yet, since you've attended at least one of these sessions, we highly recommend going to okanagan.bc.ca /tuition giveaway. And that way you can actually put your information in to win a $5,000 tuition credit for Okanagan College. So huge, huge amount of money. That could be like a full year almost of school.
Game changer.
So, yeah, definitely, especially at any time. It's nice to have some more money in your pocket. But I think I'll just be quiet for a second in case anyone wants to unmute their mic and ask any questions.
I actually have one question. Sorry, I'm a latecomer. I was on another bridge there, but I do want to have a quick questions about co-op versus placements. I'm not sure if all programs are co-op or have the opportunity of placements.
Yeah, that's a great question, Kevin. So Catherine, do you mind taking us back to the slide that has like all of the programs that are eligible for co-op? So we can show you all of the programs that we have that are eligible for co-op. That being said, so the biggest difference between co-op and a placement is with a co-op, you have to actively apply and interview and become the successful candidate in order to land that co-op. The reason for that and the reason why we really believe in co-op versus a placement is never in your life will you be placed into a job after you've graduated college. So we want to make sure that when you leave Okanagan College, you have the skills that you need to go from the entire hiring process as well as actually doing the job. So that would be the biggest difference. Some of our, health programs, they do have placements. Usually placements as well are unpaid because usually you're more kind of watching someone do the work and learning that way and don't have your own actual workload. Where in co-op, you always have your own workload. You are always being paid as well. And, the expectation is that you're being able to be hands-on and learning those skills. So those are kind of the biggest difference between a placement and a co-op. These on the screen are all of the programs that we offer co-op for right now. That being said, we're always kind of adding some more new ones, but there are definitely other programs that do have placements as well.
So what if a program is not registered here? So for example, if I'm trying to apply for a criminal justice or social justice program, political arts or anything like that, that doesn't have, it kind of does fit in a little bit from here to there, but like Bachelor of Business Administration, I can see one avenue being there, but it's not. Does that mean that those programs would not be available for co-ops or placements?
Yes.
Okay.
So those programs would not have a co-op component. That being said, like during your regularly scheduled breaks, like for example, during summer, if you wanted to utilize our system or our services to help you with like your resume and your cover letter and your mock interview and even kind of getting a plan around job search, where to look, when to look, how often to look, things like that, you can utilize us and we're happy to help with those things. But then, it wouldn't be kind of on our specific co-op job board. It wouldn't be a placement either.
So I'm currently working with a company right now. I'm originally from Ontario, and sorry to take up a little bit more time than you guys supposed to,
Okay.
but it's basically in terms of the relocation. My company has a program that you can bridge into, obviously for business law, for ethics law, for things like that. If I was able to, like, if I don't see anything on the list here, can I like do some sort of an arrangement with the college and the business to find out if that is something that can be in the works for me to at least bridge into like my company where I'm currently working at, instead of trying to look for, my totally different area fields right now. It doesn't fit my criteria from day to day anymore from where I'm working at, and so on.
So are you speaking it like if you were in like a co-op eligible program, if that, or?
Yes, and the vice versa as well.
Okay, so if you were in a co-op eligible program and you wanted to continue working at your company that you're working at right now, basically the things that we look for is we want to make sure, like, is it relevant to your field of study? Are you being paid? Is it a full-time opportunity? Is it relevant to your program? All of those things. So as long as we're seeing that, like, you're able to contribute, you're learning, and it's relevant to the program of study, then we would accept it as a co-op there with a co-op eligible program. So one of them on the list here. If it was that you were studying something that doesn't have a co-op component, then it would just kind of be up to you if you wanted to work part-time, if you wanted to work during your regularly scheduled breaks. But yeah, it wouldn't kind of be governed by us. Anything to add to that, Catherine?
I would suggest that maybe we give a LibCal link and just talk about it one-to-one, because I think there is like a multifaceted, many layers to this question. So it would be great to connect with you if you want to email us at co-op email address, and we could make an appointment, like a virtual appointment, and just kind of go through deeper, because this is really great question and there's a lot to it. So yeah, it'd be great to work with you further on this.
Can I actually just give you my email address and you guys can get in contact with me whenever you're available? I'm pretty sure you guys have back-to-back things to do today. Yeah. So whenever you guys have a moment, please feel free to reach out, because like I said, I am kind of interested in this, and especially with the areas of field where I'm trying to bridge myself into, it's a little bit better. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a great day, guys.
Yeah, thanks. You too, Kevin. We'll talk soon.
Will do. Thank you.
Perfect. Jocelyn, I see you're still on the line. Did you have any questions or anything that you wanted to ask us? All right, no worries. Don't be sorry. Have a great rest of your day, Jocelyn.
Bye. Thank you. Stop recording.